You know that sense of drifting through your days, as if you are a passenger in your own life? That was me on my 60th birthday. I woke before dawn, made a cup of coffee, and sat at the kitchen table watching steam swirl in the pale morning light. The house was silent, so silent that I could hear the slow tick of the clock. My calendar was empty. My phone buzzed almost never, and a quiet panic settled into my chest. Is this really what life after 60 looks like? I had spent decades caring for others. I raised children, supported a bustling household, balanced work and family, and filled every spare moment with errands, obligations, and good deeds. But somewhere along the way, I had forgotten to care for myself. I had been living by everyone else's expectations, never asking one simple question: what do I want? Then I read a phrase that felt like a lifeline. You still have time. Those 5 words ignited a spark inside me. I realized that the only thing standing between me and a life of purpose, joy, and connection was one small shift in mindset. I had to choose myself first. That decision, choosing myself, became the turning point of my 60s, and it changed everything about how I age. Number 1. The mirror moment. It began with a glance in the mirror before a community luncheon. I barely recognized the woman staring back at me, eyes lined with worry, shoulders slumped under invisible weight. I realized I had spent so much time giving away my energy that I had none left to give myself. That afternoon, I wrote in my journal, "I will live with intention, not by habit." That was the shift, a commitment to ask, how do I want to feel, before every choice. Number 2, 5 minutes of stillness. The sunrise after that mirror moment found me sitting by the open window, tea in hand. I set a timer for 5 minutes, no phone, no to-do list. Just me, my breath, and the chorus of robins welcoming the dawn. At first, my thoughts tumbled. I should be exercising. I need to write. I have errands. But I gently returned my focus to the simple act of noticing warmth spreading through my chest. This small ritual grounded me in the present. I began each day by asking myself, what feeling do I want today? And breathed in conviction, peace, presence, purpose. Number 3, the maple whisper. A few days later, I walked to the park. A grand old maple stood guard by the footpath, its bark rugged and comforting under my palm. I closed my eyes and whispered, I choose presence. The air smelled of damp earth and distant rain, and a single leaf drifted onto my shoulder. That simple vow became my daily mantra, the compass guiding every step. Mid-video reflection. What would change if you paused today to choose yourself? Number 4. The power of no boundaries terrified me. I used to say yes to everything, volunteer work, family favors, social obligations, until exhaustion set in. One afternoon, I delivered groceries for a neighbor yet again and realized I had missed my own garden planning. That night, I practiced a new response. Thank you for thinking of me, but I am not available right now. My voice shook as I spoke it aloud. But each time I stood firm, I felt a subtle sense of freedom. It was the freedom of showing up wholeheartedly for what mattered, rather than spreading myself thin. Number 5. Rekindling creativity. At 61, I signed up for a watercolor class. I had not painted since college, but a friend insisted. My first piece was a blur of colors attempting to capture that maple silhouette. I felt awkward, vulnerable, but exhilarated. Mixing pigments and watching shapes emerge reminded me that creativity belongs to every age. Each brushstroke rekindled a part of my spirit that had been hidden under years of responsibilities. Number 6. The Granddaughter Summit. By 62, I was healthy enough to join my granddaughter on a gentle hillside trail. My breath came in ragged bursts, my legs trembled, but my heart soared. At the summit, she took my hand, and we watched the valley unfold beneath a cotton candy sky. That moment, shared with someone 2 generations younger, awakened pure joy inside me. It reminded me that life's greatest gifts often arrive in shared triumphs, however small the climb. Number 7. Community connection. Inspired by that hike, I started Maple Mornings, a weekly porch gathering where neighbors bring mugs and stories. We laugh, cry, and listen without fixing one another. It is a space of genuine presence. In holding this circle, I discovered the healing power of community, proving that intentional gatherings can revive the human spirit at any age. Number 8. Learning to rest. I used to chase productivity like a prized trophy. But now, I schedule rest. I place a lavender-scented pillow over my eyes, play soft piano music, and let the day's tension melt away. Rest is not laziness. It is an act of self-respect. It tells my body and mind that I matter, that I deserve care. Number 9. Embracing health as self-love. Reclaiming my health was never about fad diets or gym guilt. It was about honoring my body as a home. I started eating whole foods that nourished me, moving my body with gentle yoga and listening to its signals. When I paused to rest or chose a colorful salad over processed meals, I told myself, I love you. Those choices shifted my energy, improved my sleep, and grounded me in vitality. Number 10. Cultivating gratitude. Each evening I end the day by naming 3 things I am grateful for. Simple joys, big or small, a cooling breeze, a friend's call, the comfort of my favorite chair. Gratitude turns what we have into enough, and it rewires our focus from absence to abundance. Key recap: 1. Shift. Choosing yourself first. Daily practice. Asking, how do I want to feel? Rituals that anchor. Stillness, boundaries, creativity, connection, rest, health, gratitude. Now it is your turn. What is one small ritual you could begin tomorrow? How might asking, how do I want to feel, change a decision you make today? What boundaries could you set to protect your energy? Share your thoughts below. Your insights may light someone's path. If this story spoke to you, please like this video, share it with someone who needs permission to choose themselves, and subscribe for more honest journeys of transformation at every age. And I will leave you with this thought. It is never too late to become the person you were always meant to be. Thank you for being here. You still have time. Use it well.